Welcome back to a new video. If you hear barking in the background, Bo just was notified that there are in fact dogs next door, so he may start losing his mind at any moment. But this was a good workout. I didn't do anything too terribly crazy heavy. These hang snatches weren't originally programmed in, and you can see I'm actually not using straps for them, so I kind of wanted to experiment, not with a ton of volume with these, but I wanted to see how they would feel without straps, and they feel absolutely horrendous without straps. Not the actual movement, but just like holding it with my hands. You notice I tried putting athletic tape on there. My thumbs were hurting. I had tape on my thumbs. Like, I did everything to make it a comfortable movement, and I don't think the actual movement itself looked bad, but it was just like, wow, this is 10 times more difficult just to hold it there without straps for this movement. And I don't know why that is, but potentially it's something I could do a little bit more in the future, but I just didn't like it, and I don't think it's really that important for like hang snatches, same with like block snatches or whatever, to not have straps on for. After I did that 90, I dropped down to 70 just to do a single with straps, and then moved on to doing some hang clean plus pause jerks, and that's been an adjustment where I just do full cleans instead of doing the power cleans, because normally it wants me to do power positions, and I ain't about doing that power positions. I started with 70 there just because I already had it on the bar, and then did one single here with 100, and then I came back and did I guess a 1 + 1 × 2. You'll see what I mean on the video, but these were easy because it was just 100, and I did the second one all together just because I knew I didn't want to push too heavy on this day. I think this will probably be a strategy I employ on certain days. If I notice that I push heavy a couple times in different workouts, I think it would be beneficial to kind of force myself to have a workout like this where I really stick to what the numbers are and don't really push up hardly at all. I know in this one I did add those hang snatches in, and I forgot to mention the other reason that I wanted to add those in is that the next workout after this one, I had it was like, I think originally 7 doubles in the hang snatch that started at like 82 or 84. I ended up starting it at 80 kilos, but I had quite a bit of that movement and I hadn't really done it. I did some no foot hangs the other day, but I just wanted to kind of practice the movement and to see how it would feel without having straps on. Obviously, I wouldn't try to do hang snatch doubles without straps because I don't do CrossFit, so I don't have any ability to re-catch bars like a CrossFitter would. This workout then ended with a couple sets of pulls. With pulls as well, I'm not trying to be aggressive, just like I'm not trying to be aggressive with the squatting, just to make everything hopefully feel as good as possible, but just to get work in and not stress, the hip and everything out. Pulls haven't really bothered anything, so it's kind of nice just to always be able to do pulls. The last movement I actually ended with squats, and it's really just kind of laziness. I knew the squats weren't too heavy, so I just did them after the pulls since the bar was already on the ground. And you saw there, I'm just able to take big jumps like normal. These were all at 125, and honestly they didn't feel too bad. They were difficult, but more from like a musculature standpoint than from like a pain tolerance. And that's kind of the transition that's continuing to happen, is less of, wow, this kind of hurts, I'm going to try to get past this, versus this is kind of hard because I'm weak. And thankfully, that's a much better problem to have when you feel weak versus feel pain. It's odd to kind of think that, but I know it probably makes sense to anyone that lifts, but it is kind of weird to like be like, oh, thank goodness I'm just weak now, instead of just like, wow, that hurt, and I'm, it's moving fine, but it hurts. And now it's just like, I'm just slow and weak again. So it's starting to get back to there. I do have a couple of heavy front squats sessions this week, or at least I think one that could potentially get heavier. So hopefully I'm able to push past the current quote-unquote max that I have in the program, which is just 165. I kept everything real low as far as maxes go, so I have workouts like this, so I'm not like stressed out about them, but just so I can build back to where I was before, and then have a chance to push PRs, I guess. Not really true PRs, obviously, but to push back to where I was before and to start getting back to that point, which is another reason why I can be aggressive with a lot of these different training days. Not really on this day, but on the other days. because I know a lot of my max numbers are lower than what they truly are. So I know like I'm not going to get as wore out from pushing a bit heavier on these different days. But anywho, pretty easy workout. Nothing really too radical there. Just getting work in and just trying to practice some movements. But anywho, that's it for this one. Peace.